Hi guys, so my good friend Andre Walker is back again and he has another video, and in this video he's talking about how the Lord and Saviour Nigel Farage must come out of retirement, I think come out from under his rock, to save Brexit, because of course Brexit is under threat. So let's hear what he had to say.
Nigel Farage has said that he's going to come out of retirement once again to save Brexit. Hello everyone, this is Andre Walker. Look, I've almost lost track of the number of times that Nigel Farage has had to come out of retirement to save the Brexit project.
He doesn't come out to save the Brexit project. He comes out to... he looks at his bank account and he goes, oh, wait a minute, it's down a bit. I need to, up the ante a bit. I need to go out and talk about Brexit in order to get some more cash.
Time and time again, we've seen the establishment attempt to have Brexit in name only. They've always seen it as a problem that needs to be managed. And frankly...
Sorry, when you say the establishment, who are you talking about? Are you talking about the government? Are you saying that Boris Johnson is not interested in having Brexit done? Who are you talking about? Really, when I think of the establishment, I imagine the government, because the government are the ones who make the decisions over our lives. Who are you talking about when you say the establishment?
They've always thought that the people that voted for Brexit were either racist or stupid or...
I'm not going to comment on that because I'm looking at someone who has a Make America Great hat on their shelf and a Trump 2020 flag, along with a little figurine of Donald Trump. I'm not going to comment on that.
Or probably both. I think actually we're the sensible people because we understand that small government is the way forward. We understand what a...
How is small government the way forward? Look at what happened over the pandemic. It's been clearly demonstrated that small government isn't the way forward. Big government is the way forward. Now, I'm not saying that big government is the best in all situations, but you're jumping from saying Brexit needs to be saved to the establishment is the problem, to which you somehow think that Boris Johnson and the Conservative Party are not part of the establishment. I'm assuming that. To saying that small government is the way forward. I know Brexit is about stripping away environmental regulations, standards for products and workers' rights. I actually think those are bad things. I know Andre thinks those are good things.
Genuine community is, because we recognise that being ruled from abroad is never going to be a good thing, particularly with...
Ruled from abroad? How are you ruled from abroad? Now, you're talking about going into WTO. Do you rule the WTO? Will you follow those the requirements of the WTO? You do understand that the WTO is not democratically elected. And you do understand that the EU has more sway in the WTO than the UK does.
With a belligerent lot like the British. It's a real shame, isn't it, that the Internal Market Bill has once again brought out the very worst in people.
Well, yes, I agree with you. I agree 100% that all of the shenanigans surrounding the Internal Market Bill has brought out the worst in some people.
Nigel Farage now says that he will oppose the 30 or so Conservative MPs who've said they're going to rebel over the bill.
Okay. Nigel Farage is going to oppose 30 MPs. Nigel Farage. Andre, do you know how many times Nigel Farage has run as to sit in Parliament? How many times he has run for a seat in Parliament? And how many times he has won? Well, he's run 7 times and he has won 0 times. So, Nigel Farage doesn't have a very good track record. Well, let's say maybe Nigel is not going to run. The Brexit Party will run instead. So how many seats did the Brexit Party win in the last election? 0. But let's go off on a bit of a tangent here for a moment. In the last election, before the last election, in the run-up to it, Nigel Farage said that he was going to hold Boris Johnson to account. And his way of holding Boris Johnson to account was to field candidates in every constituency. Then, just before the election, he decided, actually, we're not going to do that. And at the same time, the people who put themselves forward as candidates, who actually paid the fee necessary to be fielded as a candidate, were refused a refund. Okay, but let's leave that aside for a moment as well. So Nigel Farage said that he was going to field candidates in every constituency. Then he decided just before the election, actually, we're not going to do that. We're only going to field candidates in Remain voting constituencies, or constituencies that voted to remain in the European Union in 2016. So he was putting Brexiteers up against Remainers to somehow help the Conservative Party. And he put up Brexiteers against Labour candidates in Brexit supporting constituencies, and he didn't win any seats. And this is holding Boris Johnson to account.
And that is a good thing. The Brexit Party will bring pressure to bear, just as UKIP did before. And a man...
You're confusing how the Brexit Party won seats in the European election with how they didn't win any seats in the UK Parliament election. There is a big difference. You know, they don't have any more power. They had their power when they were actually in the European Parliament, ironically. They had a voice there. Now they have no voice, unless you count Nigel Farage as a voice.
Amanda Milling, the Conservative Party chairman, has described what used to be called the Red Wall, those northern seats, like places like Lee in the northwest of England. She described those no longer as the Red Wall, but she says they are now a blue wall. And that probably is true. But see, the thing is, the Conservative Party smashed the Red Wall because of support for their strategy on Brexit, or rather, because of the belief that they would be willing to go for a no-deal Brexit.
What? Are you insane? Is Andre Walker insane? He's just said that the Conservative Party won by promoting the idea that they were going to go for a no-deal Brexit. Boris Johnson won the election because he lied to people by saying that he had an oven-ready deal. He said he had a deal, not no deal. He said he had a deal. That's what he won on. Did you actually listen to what Boris Johnson was saying before the election? Is Andre just taking the piss here? Really, I'm asking these questions because the last video I responded to was, I was convinced it was a parody channel. Now I think he's just taking the piss. Boris Johnson ran on a campaign with a slogan that said, "Get Brexit done," and he promoted also this oven-ready deal. I have an oven-ready deal. Vote for me, I have an oven-ready deal. I have a deal. It's oven-ready. Did you not hear this? Were you, I don't know, under a rock or something? And now you're saying that, well, he won because he didn't have a deal. No, he won because, in part, because he had this slogan. He convinced people, I have a deal. The Labour Party don't have a deal. Nobody else has a deal. I have a deal. It's oven ready.
All of these relics of the past, and I thought we'd got rid of them, by the way, at the last election.
The relics of the past, like Bill Cash?
All these relics of the past who are pro-European Conservatives, who are attempting to be the fifth column within the British government and within the British Parliament.
You're insulting members of Parliament here. Members of Parliament are elected by the people. So you're insulting the people. Like, I have problems with Jacob Rees-Mogg, but I understand that people voted for Jacob Rees-Mogg because they think he's doing a good job, or he will do a good job in the future. I don't have any problem with the people who voted for Jacob Rees-Mogg. I have a problem with Jacob Rees-Mogg. What you're doing is you're saying that these people are a fifth column, or these people should not be in Parliament. They're in Parliament because they represent their people. I don't like Jacob Rees-Mogg, but I don't think he should be removed from Parliament because I don't like him. He should be removed by the people because he doesn't do his job.
Those people should not be in a modern Conservative party. It simply is nonsense. But I say that...
I'm sorry to be interrupting him all the time, but modern Conservative party? You guys want to take it backwards. You're a supporter of Donald Trump, who wants to take America backwards. How can you say modern and then say, yes, we want to take it backwards? Okay, he didn't actually say, I want to take it backwards. But we know Brexiteers want to go backwards. We want to go back to the time of the empire, how things were much better before we became a member of the EU. Donald Trump's slogan, Make America Great Again, as if it was great at some stage in the past, and he wants to make it great again. But I just want to point one, just before I move on to the next point here. This is data from polling from Politico, and it should upload in a moment. It's about polling at the moment, and he's saying, yes, we can get the Brexit party to hold Boris Johnson to account. But at the moment, the Conservatives are on 41%, Labour is on 39%, and the Brexit party, I don't know if you can see it, is down here at 3%. Probably within the margin of error. So the idea that they would hold Boris Johnson to account is absurd. But let's get back to the main point.
There's an even bigger issue. I think the bigger issue is what's going on in the House of Lords. Look, the House of Lords now is out of date. It is a nest of pro-Europeanism. I've never met a member of the House of Lords who is a genuine Eurosceptic. No, actually, that's not true. I've met Lord Pearson of Rannoch. But there isn't many of them. And I think that is a significant problem, because what they will do once again, and we've seen it before from the House of Lords, is they will attempt to stymie Brexit and prevent us getting through this vital internal market bill, which will help protect people in Northern Ireland and indeed retain the whole of the United Kingdom.
Sorry, it'll help people in Northern Ireland? How? I would love for you to explain. Please do a video. I'm asking Andre to make a video on how the internal market bill will help people in Northern Ireland. Because you can say it will help people in Northern Ireland and then move on. It won't. Or please demonstrate how it will.
Kingdom. And I simply leave you with this very simple question. If the House of Lords is unwilling to stand up for the United Kingdom, then who on earth is left? Well, I say, actually, the only people left are the British people, and it is time to abolish the House of Lords.
So Andre wants to abolish the House of Lords because he believes, it's his belief, that most of the people in the House of Lords are pro-EU, and for that reason, the House of Lords should be abolished. Now, look, I'm not a fan of the House of Lords, but I wouldn't abolish the House of Lords because I disagree with some of the people in it on one issue. This channel is pretty much mainly about Brexit. But I understand that there are other issues outside of Brexit. I hope and Andre can also understand that there are other issues outside of Brexit, and that you don't abolish the House of Lords because of Brexit, and you don't abolish it because you don't like the opinions of some people who are in the House of Lords. That's absurd. It's insane. Just think about that for a moment. He's advocating for abolishing the House of Lords because there are people in the House of Lords that hold opinions on one issue that are the opposite to his opinion. I'll just let you marinate in that for a moment.
Get rid of it. Now, whether we go for having a Senate or whether we go for what Labour proposed in 1945, which is just to get rid of the House of Lords and just have a unicameral system, that is just the House of Commons on its own. I don't know. Frankly, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah. Like, Brexiteers were all about taking back control. And now they're talking about, let's just give all the control we have to the House of Commons and the government who are in the House of Commons. Now, let's take a step back for a moment. I think it would be a terrible idea. But let's take a step back and say for a moment, imagine if Keir Starmer was Prime Minister. And Keir Starmer was, I don't know, trying to push through some policy. Do you think Andre would be saying, yes, we need to abolish the House of Lords because it's standing in the way of Keir Starmer's policies? I don't think he would be advocating for that. He's advocating for abolishing the House of Lords because he doesn't like the opinions of some people in the House of Lords. That's insane. It really is insane. Look, we can have a debate on the value of the House of Lords, the value of having a Senate, or whether the House of Lords should be elected, whether it should be unelected. I think there are arguments on both sides for that. But I'd never advocate for saying, let's abolish a Senate or the House of Lords or something like that, simply because I disagree with some of the people in it. I think we're truly in the upside down here, guys. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?